McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
What's up, family? Your boy Dave with BWR here. Wanted to let y'all know about what we have going on April 21st. We're doing the Renaissance Mixer again. Yes, sir. We're bringing it back. Last year, we tried to do this. The COVID shut us down, but we're bringing the party back. Having the Renaissance Mixer here in Dallas, we're partnering up with CK Creative Studio, a luxury Black-owned co-working space out here in the Design District, to bring together entrepreneurs and professionals from all across the DFW, get us together in one room so we can start making these business connections and much more. We're going to have live music, drinks, food, and much, much more. It's going to be a great time. Tickets are only $5 for the time being, $5. So y'all make sure to hurry up, sign up. We'll see y'all there. Wednesday, April 21st at 7 p.m. CK Creative Studios, the Renaissance Mixer. It's up, baby. Peace.
Have you been thinking about starting a podcast, but you don't know exactly where to get started? Maybe you don't know exactly what equipment you should buy or who you should go through with the hosting platforms. Well, good news. I created a course just for you. It'll be showing you how to make the fewest mistakes possible on your podcasting journey. It's called the Podcaster's Playbook, and it's a total masterclass taught by me, showing you all the techniques and tricks that we use behind the scenes of the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. Swipe up now, click the link in the show notes so you can purchase the Podcaster's Playbook.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
You know the rules of the game. Yeah. You know the rules of the game. I don't care what color. Can you make me 100 million? Let's talk money. Can you make me that? If you can't make me that, I don't want to talk to you. You shouldn't even be at this table.
Hey, I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathon.
Do 5 years of this and be a millionaire and go on do what I want to do, have kids, go live my chip and joy in the game's life out here in Texas, or struggle for the next few years. The choice is yours.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Our goal of this podcast is to normalize Black wealth and share helpful resources and tips we believe will be useful in attaining and maintaining generational wealth. Please feel free to rate and comment on our podcast. We would love to hear all feedback you have. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy David Bella, 1/4 of the Black Wealth Renaissance. Checking out my co-host Jalen, Jared. How y'all doing, my brothers?
What's good? What's good? It's your boy Jalen, man. Another quarter of the Black Earth Renaissance, man. I'm feeling great, man. On another episode, man. This is the second one for the day. I'm feeling energized, ready to just add value where we can, bro.
This Saturday been a blessing, huh?
It really has been, man.
For sure. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jared checking in. Another fourth of the Black Wealth Renaissance. I'm really excited to get into this episode today. Man, like I told them off air, I feel like we getting to interview some real life celebrities here. We've been following them for so long. I can't wait for, them to introduce themselves and everything. But David, keep it rolling, man. We got to get to this episode.
Yeah, man, we got some OGs in the wealth game coming on today, man. They've really been putting the people on. But before we get into introducing them all the way, we want to ask everybody that's listening to this to go ahead, like, subscribe, rate, comment, leave a review on our channel platform, wherever you viewing this. It helps us grow the show and spread the message that we're trying to get to our people. Yeah. So, man, like I was saying, OGs in the wealth game, man. Whenever we first came into this thing, that was early 2018, we seen these people out here. They were helping Black people get on in the real estate and the trucking industry and like helping them get their finances together. And it was just like, man, who are these people? Like, what they doing to these people?
Then they name so hard.
They got a name, HoodEstates. I'm like, man, what they doing over there, man? So we ecstatic to have none other than Paki and Sandy of HoodEstates. How y'all doing?
What's good, y'all, man?
What's good? Listen,
I got to give y'all a warm BWR welcome right quick, man.
There we go.
For coming on, man.
Indeed. Yeah, man. Nah, we excited. It's been a long time coming. We've been trying to make this happen, and I'm glad that we've been able to do it all in God's timing. Most importantly, we just like to share our journey with people because we come from humble beginnings, and we just want to share with people like, listen, if we can do it, anybody can. So we're excited to be here, ready to get it popping.
Oh, man.
And since y'all said it, just the humble beginnings, we'll just get right on into it. For anybody who may not know who you are and how you got started, can you kind of tell them why you say, we're coming from these humble beginnings, and if anyone can do it, you definitely can do it if we can.
Right. Well, to be honest, we've been knowing each other since I was 5 years old.
Don't go there.
Yeah. I ain't gonna go too far back, but we've been married almost 25 years now, and we've seen a lot. Like, we've been through a lot, from starting off in Liberty City in Miami, rough neighborhoods known as the hood, Dade County 305, Lincoln Field, and basically just going through that journey of learning and building. And here's the thing, getting to the top, at least for what we consider the top, and losing it all to actually become homeless at one point to build back up again. So, we'll talk about all the journey in between, but it's definitely been a roller coaster, but we're grateful and thankful for everything that we went through. So it's been a journey, but we say humble beginnings because, we remember trying to eat off of $10 for the week. For us and 3 kids, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes sleeping in the car. We've been there, so it's definitely humble beginnings.
He jumped way to the beginning, man. He's talking about coming straight from the hood, from the gutter, you heard me? Like, he talking about the car. The car was a good place.
Yeah.
It was growing up in a neighborhood. But I had been there since I was 4 years old. He came up in, when he got his good old girl, he came over there in the hood with us. He spent 10 years over there and became a hood rat with me.
Yeah.
And then we elevated. And then, I can just say that we learned how to go from survival to a smooth life to that, what they call it, that hood rich, to broke again, to now we're at a point where we're living our legacy.
Yeah,
so,
wealth.
Now God can trust us with the money. God can trust us with the plan and the assignment, and we're ready. But we had to go through some rough patches to get here, and it was all good because now we're able to come on y'all platform and tell y'all how to get through this by example. We open books. We ain't got nothing to hide. We tell you everything. I don't even care. Like I said, I ain't got no shame. When you come from the hood, and I'm talking about my real hood people, y'all hear me? We don't got no shame because everything was already laid out in the street. That's how you was identified, by how real and how raw you was. So why wouldn't I be there right now? I'm still the same way. He's still the same. So we just want to get back in it, from our hearts, from what we've been through. Why not tell so others can change?
Yep.
And that's powerful and that's impactful. Even just with y'all's story, like you said, we went from an area of survival to where we were living smoothly. Then we got hood rich. And then the Lord took it all away from you. Like you said, you reached that pinnacle and then you are still able to rebuild. And now you're able to bring people along that journey with y'all. And I think that's the first thing I kind of want to just talk about is y'all going from being hood rich and reaching those heights that you first experienced. What did that look like going from survival to actually starting to build wealth and starting to generate income to where you can be hood rich?
Right.
Okay, let me break this down for all my people out here in the BWR world. Paki is the teacher. I give it to you raw. Paki go give you all the tech news. He go give you all that, he go give it to you, right? Like the preacher. Me, I'm that girl that go give it to you just like the street, but it still come from the Lord. You hear what I'm saying? It's still the same. But at the end of the day, I can say from us, what the transition from us was that it just caught us off guard because it wasn't something that we expected. You can't expect something that you didn't know about. And I think for us, Paki has always been a businessman since he was 17 years old.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce.
Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
And he knew that the type of thing. All I knew was the streets. So he brought me into that business mentality. And as we began to elevate and structure, we still had a hood environment. So as he was beginning to grow, we still didn't grow mentally. So because things was changing, because he was skilled with it, our mental wasn't ready. So we was getting more money. He was getting more connections. He was getting more business, but we still was in the hood. So the two weren't connected. We was trying to elevate still in an environment that was holding us back. So let me give you an example. So our first deal, we made about $30,000, right? So when we got the money, he always tell the story, we go to the bank. We went there to ask them for our money, and they was like, we ain't got y'all money, but you gotta have our money. What you mean you ain't got, y'all gotta print it? What you print what? Like when I brought it to you, it wasn't no print. So you gotta print off to give it back to me, but we had to learn the process.
You had to order it. That's what they said. They said they had to order it, yeah.
So, they gotta order your money for you. And then on top of that, you gotta make sure that, you only can order so much. So I'm like, okay. So we go back when they tell us the money ready, but we take all our money out because y'all didn't have it ready for us. We want all our money out
That's
here.
the whole thing.
So he packed with money. I got money everywhere. I'm looking like Big Mama because I got money everywhere. I'm talking about all over my body. And we got a security guard walking us out. We took our money home and we tossed that money up in. We did a whole P. Diddy video at the house. I mean, we tossed that money up and everything. But at the end of the day, you got to check it. We brought all that money home. We never seen that much money in the world. Now, mind you, I'm still on HUD. I'm still on food stamps. I get a stipend, everything. I'm still in the hood life. So we got this money, and now we still living this hood mentality. There was no transition. There was no transition in the education. There was no transition in the mental part of us, not mindset. So we had no relationship with our money. We just got money. Because you got the knowledge and it produced something don't mean that you was ready for it. See, we weren't ready for the transition. We did everything we supposed to get. That's what, see, God can't lie. God said, what you ask me for, I'll give it to you. Because one thing about God, God said, obedient man, he blessed us, right? So he blessed us for our obedience, but we wasn't ready. He knew we weren't ready. When you repeated what I said, that we were stripped because we weren't ready. We lost it, but he still blessed us with what he promised that he was going to give us. So our mentality had to change from the shift of that we were hood rich. That's why I call us hood rich. We were hood rich without a relationship with money and finances. We knew everything about business, but at that point in time, but then we had to transition. Now we had to learn how to understand the whole structure of learning how to have a relationship with our money. And that took a loss.
Right.
You can go
and that's why I tell people too as well. I tell this to my son all the time. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Like you can keep making money. We all make money. I made money, but it's not that. It's can you maintain this and can you have this make money for you? So regardless whether it was 30,000, 3,000 or 300,000, we did the same thing that people do when they get income tax. Like we just took the money and pretty much blew it. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep thinking it's going to keep coming forever, but this is your first time having this money. So I go back to something that you said and Sandy was speaking on. See, a lot of times we get this, but the question is, God will bless you, but can you be trusted with the blessing? So you can be blessed, but can you be trusted with the blessing, right? And we see that again, like I said, you ever, like with your kids, you give them, hey, here's $100. If you go blow it, yeah, I can give you the blessing, but can you be trusted? Being trusted is, you know what? You just gave me 100. guess what? I'm going to take 10 or 20% of this and save. I'm going to take another 10% or 20% and use this for my wants. And then I'm going to do my needs and whatever the case is. So that's being trusted with it, not just receiving it. And that's what happened with us.
Can't eat the seed.
Yeah. Can't eat the seed.
You know, I'm so happy y'all spoke to that. Like, because so many people will say that that's the issue. Like, the money is purely the issue. Like, they'll be like, hey, if I just made a little bit more money, if I just had a little bit more money, it would fix all the problems. Like, everything would be gone. But they don't look at the underlying issue of, like, their mentality and where they're at with it and their relationship with that money that they even currently have. I'm happy.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to touch on it too. Like, just what y'all was saying, you know, he blessed you. And that was, like you said, you being obedient, but him stripping it away, but y'all still didn't lose y'all faith in him. And that's why he was able to restore y'all to where y'all got. Because he had to teach y'all a lesson with what y'all got. And I totally understand where y'all coming from, because I see it even with us personally. That's why I feel like we know where we want to be, but I don't think that's where we reach that top yet, because he knows we're not prepared for the blessings that's going to flow through us.
Ain't nothing like his time. Ain't nothing like his time. One thing about it, I can tell y'all this, man, as young people, always understand this, and we tell this to our children, because all our children are adults, we tell them all the time, don't test God's hands and make him try to move in your timing, because he will allow it to happen just because he only give us simple things, right? He say, seek me early and I will add everything unto you, right? So we can do all the things to force his hand, but then he say, okay, you force my hand, but I know you're not ready, but I got to give it to you. See, because he says it in his word, test me. Test me. But then he gonna let you know, I'm gonna give you that test, but I'm gonna show you that you wasn't ready. We think we ready. That's that flesh. You know what I mean? We did that, you know, it ain't gonna happen to me. Oh yeah, it will.
Especially in like the current times we in, everybody all like, we always want everything now.
Yeah, the world is vast, man. The world is vast. And that's why he said, do not be of it, because it's so easy. Everything is brought. I love our time. I would never give up. There was a lot of hardship in growing up in our time, but there was a lot of protection of us, that things that we did not need to know. And I understand why the elders used to hide things from us and keep us sheltered, because the things that social media bring to these platforms, the things that these kids that are not ready for, would never be ready for at this time in this mentality. This is why they're so corrupted, and not in a bad way. Not talking about corrupted against the law. They're so corrupted against themselves. You awaken the flesh early, it brings out a beast, and it brings out an ignorant beast that turns into a stupid beast. And now you got to learn all these hard lessons in order to now to humble yourself so that you can now be smart and wise by it. But they didn't have to go that route. But social media, it's good. It has its pros and its cons, but it exposed so much so early that we were protected from.
Yeah. I'll say this too, going back to the time. Well, a lot of people don't understand. They miss that part where it says seed, time, and harvest. Seed has to be planted.
Yes.
Time has to transpire. Then the harvest comes. People want to plant a seed and expect the harvest tomorrow. What thing that you plant a seed, I'll never forget. My dad was a pastor. He did a sermon about it, right? And literally what he did, he brought a plant into the church and he put seeds in it. He buried it right there that Sunday. And he did a whole series on it. And I mean, it was a couple of months before you saw it break through the, through the soil. And it was, the whole point was, it didn't happen next Sunday. Right. It didn't happen the Sunday after, but it was still growing under the soil.
But,
you just don't see it. And that's what keeps happening with us. When you plant that seed, we're growing. Black Wealth Renaissance, you're growing.
Yes.
Even when people don't see it, because you was planting them seeds back in 2018 when you only had a few followers or a few thousand followers. Same thing. And people come now and see you and say, oh, you this, you that. No, I was that seed planted, but I was growing in the soil. And now that I broke through and now you see me producing fruit and harvest, you think it happened overnight. No, seed, time, and harvest. Don't forget the time part.
It's good, baby.
Man, y'all on here preaching, man. I love it.
Sure. And now that we kind of like went over that mindset, I kind of want to go over, what was that first deal that brought y'all that 30K? What was the work that took for you to get that?
So really quick, what it was we did a deal. And at the time I was looking to do real estate, I had purchased one of those courses from Carlton Sheets. Yeah. And it was, I didn't know, I was lost. So anyway, I was speaking with a coworker at the time, and he was like, hey, you know, this guy knows real estate. And this particular guy, the funny story is this guy, back then we had a studio. He had came and brought his youth group to the studio to do some music. And at the end of their sessions, he was purchasing some production from me because I was a music producer. And right then, this is a lesson in that you have to be open to hear from God in all things. Like, you know, in every situation, don't be so quick. Hear God. And God was telling me to give him this music for free. And I was like, for free? You know, I'm going back and forth in my spirit. And I'm going to be obedient. I gave him the music and I left it at that. And he was like, you're not going to charge me? I'm like, nah, it was like $2,000 worth of music. And I gave it to him. So fast forward, this particular coworker says, yeah, remember that guy that came to your studio with the youth group? Yeah, he does real estate. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, call him up. I call him up. Long story short, he says, listen, for what you did for me, then I'm going to mentor you for free.
Come on,
I'm going to show you this real estate game for free. So I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. Now, here's the thing, too. He's in Atlanta, and we're in Miami. He does all this real estate in Atlanta, but he just comes to Miami. And I'm like, well, he's in Atlanta, and I'm in Miami. So here's another lesson. You have to be comfortable with moving out of your comfort zone.
Go ahead.
Everything doesn't lie. You know, no success lies in your comfort zone. So the first thing I said was like, well, he's in Atlanta, but guess what? I need what he has.
Right.
I need that. So I'm willing to do this in Atlanta, even though I'm in Miami. How you going to do it? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this is a blessing. So for the first deal, he basically said, okay, you got to get your earnest money. And what we're going to do is, it was like a classic wholesale deal, to be honest with you. You know, we put the earnest money down on the property. We had an end buyer that was going to buy it at another price. We had to get the appraisal done. So we did that, and we had a contract for one amount, and we basically sold it to somebody for another amount, and we made the money in between. And that's how we did our first deal with him. And believe it or not, we didn't even have the earnest money and the appraisal money. It was like $1,500.
That's a whole story.
The guy who told us to check him out is the guy who lent us the money for the earnest money and the appraisal to do the first deal.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all this to say, I was just watching the episode of Undercover Billionaire as well the other night, and I was seeing that sometimes we always keep thinking we need money.
Ooh.
You don't need money. Like, money will come to you.
Yeah.
You just need to get out there, talk to people, connect with people, network with people, and bring value.
Yes.
And bring value. And sometimes that value can be in so many different ways. It's not always an even exchange. And that's the thing. And I realized that back then, like, wait a minute. If you connect with people and ask, that's the other thing. Sometimes we don't have things because we don't ask.
That part.
Like, this guy, when he gave us the $1,500, I asked him for it.
Yes.
So believe it or not, if you just ask, like, I'll tell you a quick story. This would be these guys in school, and every day they used to come broke. Every day at the end of the day, they used to come to me and show me they left with $25, $15. Now, back in school, back in high school, middle school, you like, that's a lot of money back then.
It was.
So I'm like, man, how you get that? Oh, bro, I just go at, man.
Everybody for
hey,
what?
bro, you got $1?
There you go.
Hey, bro, let me get 50 cents, man.
Straight hustle.
And sometimes you ask somebody for 50 cents, they'll give you a quarter.
Yep.
But by the end of the day,
it all adds up.
And that's all just from asking. Mind you, they ain't even give no value. So imagine if you're giving value at the same time you asking.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And even in that story, like you saying, one of the things that stood out to me was
the beginning.
Yeah, whenever you said, you know, you gave him them beats for free, and then you turned around and learned that he had real estate in your spirit, you could have been like, man, he know he could have paid me that money. He do it. But you didn't even have that. You was like, okay, let me see what I got to do just to tap into what he got.
Right.
And even to me, it made me think about what we had just talked about. That was a seed. That giving it away, that whenever you said it was on your spirit to like give it away, that was the seed that was planted. If you would have kept it, who knows where you would have been now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he was uncomfortable. The crazy one, how the seed planted, right? You got to break ground, right? So he had to break ground to plant that seed. He was uncomfortable as hell to get it and say, I'm going to get this away. See, in your obedience don't mean it's going to feel good, taste good, or none of that.
Right.
The point is that just doing it.
Right.
That's why it's obedience.
That's key. Sometimes we're looking for obedience to feel good. Again, we're looking for everything to feel good, but it's okay for it not to feel good and you still do it.
That's right.
That's the obedience.
That's why love is a choice. Love ain't no feeling. I don't know these Hallmark ass cards. That love ain't no damn feeling. Love is a choice. I choose to love you. I choose to be happy. nobody can make you feel no way. No, they encouraged you to feel that way, but you made yourself feel that way. You gave yourself that power. It's the same way in everything. It's what you give away in obedience. Yeah. And don't look it back from that person. You look back, if you gave it away in obedience, you're looking back for God to give it back to you. Because that man could give you back something that you like, damn, that wasn't even worth the value that I gave to them. But when you wait for God to bring it back to you, he bring it back in abundance.
Hey.
I love it, that abundance.
So we talking on abundance. I kind of want to continue to progress through y'all's story. So y'all got into the game with real estate. That's whenever y'all got through the deal with this person. Then I'm assuming that's when y'all ran it up, then lost it again. So what was that process like when it came to rebuilding?
So again, going through that whole journey of running it up in Atlanta, but at the time we were just flipping properties, right? And a lot of people don't understand. Flipping properties is not real estate investing.
Right.
You're a real estate entrepreneur. Right?
That's real key.
Yeah, say
that again for
me. Flipping properties, you're not a real estate investor. You're a real estate entrepreneur because you're flipping properties. If you flip it, you get paid. If you don't flip it, you don't. Once you're finished with the flip, you're done.
That ain't passive income.
Right. That's not right. That's not investing. That's not me putting my money in something and return. I'm getting return, but for the work that I do.
Right.
I'm working. It's earned income. I'm working for it. If I stop flipping, which we stopped flipping and the money stopped coming. So we realized during that journey that we were making money flipping properties, but we had no passive income. We didn't have any investments at the time. See, that's the thing. We didn't have any investments. So going through that whole thing, we ran it up. And, when the market crashed, everything just stopped. And here's another thing. Again, no matter how much money you're making, you can still be living from check to check,
for sure,
deal to deal, closing to closing. You know what I mean?
Because like you said, there's that relationship with money piece.
Right.
Which how your assets set.
Right, exactly. So we realized that. And again, we got to that point and lost it all. And it was hard because during that time, like we just went through a whole, like my father passed away while we was home. Like it was just a lot. Like, her father passed away. My it was just a lot during that time, and it was rough.
I'm going to cut you. Let me cut you off a minute. In the midst of that, what I didn't realize, even when we talk on these, I take down these stories and talk to the people, I didn't realize until this moment that we never decided to downgrade.
Right.
We still, here we go, y'all. Please listen to us out here, y'all. We was conditioned to be like the Joneses, because if you go to the hood, remember we was raised in an environment that you dress to impress. Right? So I'm not going to look like what my pockets look like.
Right.
So that mentality still went with us.
Yeah.
So here it is. Instead of understanding the fact that if your finances don't meet your debt, you need to downgrade. But see, downgrade brought embarrassment. To who?
Right.
That wasn't paying a light bill.
Right.
To who that wasn't paying that car note and the rent? Who? You understand what I'm saying? But in the mindset, we didn't understand that. It was all about, oh man, we already flossing out here. We already balling. And now, even though things was becoming upside down on us, we still wanted to look like we had it.
Right.
But that was the mentality. See, that's the second part of the transition. Right. Not trying to impress.
Right.
To impress who? That nobody was, we were trying to, oh, this is very key, y'all. Trying to impress people who brought us no value.
Message.
Yeah. And I kind of want to ask, like, you said y'all didn't downgrade. So how did that homelessness transpire? Were y'all, like you said, you just wasn't keeping up with the bills and then y'all just being stubborn?
So what happened was, you look up and you making 80, 100 grand a month flipping properties. But then you look up and you spending 80 to 100 grand a month between mortgages and, we had 4 of the same car, like just in different colors. Like we went and brought, it's just crazy stuff. Taking 30, 40 people to Disney World, buying just.
But what we learned
niggas was living like y'all was rappers.
But you learn from the ignorance of the video. See, we didn't know nobody hood rich.
Right.
Who you know hood rich?
Yeah.
Everybody else leave a paycheck. I'm grabbing grape jelly from next door to go my peanut butter and jelly from sharing. So ain't nobody in my environment that was even on our level to even learn from.
Right.
So our mentor went inside of our place, and our mentor went obsolete anyway. So at the end of the day, we didn't have anybody in our environment to teach us how to move in a different route or to downgrade. And now you want to start making investments this way. We didn't understand that. All we knew, we took our hood raising mentality. And Paki, you can elaborate on this. he took his savings from his parents taught him how to save. My mama was a maid, so my mama lived from paycheck to paycheck. Paki parents were a teacher and an architect. So, but even though our same backgrounds, it still didn't teach us anything about growth.
Nothing about investing, nothing about financial literacy. All I knew was to save.
That's it.
But again, even in saving, eventually, because that's what happened. So when everything went belly up, we had some money in the bank.
Yeah.
Right? But still trying to live the same lifestyle. Remember, we had a $30,000, maybe $40,000 a month personal living, like personal living lifestyle. Yes. You know what I mean? With going places, doing things. So when the income stopped coming in, instead of downgrading, again, we kept trying to live that same lifestyle. When people would call and say, hey, man, I need a few $1,000s for my mortgage. We can't say I ain't got it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, he lied. We could have said
well, we could have said it, but we was embarrassed to say I ain't got it instead of just saying, like I tell people, oh, my money tied up in investments.
You better say it.
Like, because now I got everything allocated towards different things. I even tell people, hope none of my family hear this, but
I hope you do hear.
I have an account. I have an account that's strictly for helping family and friends. Right? It's a certain amount of money that goes in that account every month.
Hey.
If Uncle so-and-so in the issue and Uncle so-and-so need help and he depletes that fund with the help that he needs, when Auntie so-and-so call a few days later and asks, do I have, she can only need $100.
What's poppin', guys? It's Jay Jonah here from Blowing Smoke. If you're a fan of fun, insightful, and breakthrough conversations, then be sure to check out and subscribe to the Blowing Smoke Podcast, a show that covers life experiences and firsthand testimonies from some of your biggest names in your favorite industries. And it's all brought to you exclusively right here by the Revolt Podcast Network, anchored in hip-hop, powered by creators.
Auntie, I ain't got it. Because the fund for helping friends and family has been depleted. Until it fills back up, until whatever's in there, and that's it. No matter, I can have $1 million in the account. That ain't for that. That's for something else. So going through that whole thing and, still living that lifestyle is just slowly, you see 6 figures just slowly going. But when you living off of $30,000 a month, a couple of $100,000, it goes quick. It goes real fast. So it goes down. And I remember during that time, it's amazing. God was still blessing us.
Ooh, was he?
Like it was from money. Could you imagine getting a call from somebody saying, hey, this deal that you did like 6 months ago, it finally just happened and we'll send you a check for $20,000. What? Okay. Mind you, we going, but even then did not take that seed and plant it. We ate that seed.
Yeah, we did. And we ate it with debt.
Yes.
Ignorance, please listen to me, young people. Ignorance. You know what we did? We paid off our debts. That still was going to make debt the next month.
Right.
Why? Them new money is supposed to make money.
Right.
To then pay debts when it was time. Because the debtors could still be there.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn. They can wait. If I sent you $5, hush.
Right.
I'm not going to rush in and pay you back for something. The only thing we had to secure was our livelihood. Right. We had to secure our shelter, our cars, and food. That's it. But we didn't. We took care of debt and we went right back belly up again because we had no money relationship.
No money relationship. So when it all goes away, now we at a point where we got the eviction notice and this and the cars being repoed and things are getting bad. And now we got to go and find somewhere to stay because we don't have. So we go to stay with a relative. You know what I mean? And we all in one room with a relative. And that didn't work out. And then, you go to another relative and that didn't work out. And you go to another friend. And it just, you bouncing around from place to place because it's me, her, and 3 kids.
Oh, mind you, Jim. Ding, 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 ding. I should have a Jim bell. Jim, you know what? Let me tell you, guess what? Ain't none of them people take us in who we took care of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, let me say that. Yeah. All those people who mortgages we were paying and light bills and doing all that stuff for us, none of those people took us in.
And gave us a frozen cup.
Yeah, none of those people got us a meal or nothing.
You know that free tap water?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's toe up, man.
We were homeless for 3 years.
Yep.
That's toe up, bro. Like,
and not one took y'all in.
Not tap water.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
that just showed you.
And you said something in there too that I just really want people to not sleep on. I got to touch on it twice. You said not sinking your new money and old debt that's going to still be there. Like that one, because there's somebody out there right now that just might have got some money, might be getting some money, your stimulus money. And you was like, hey, I'm going to throw $600 in my student loans and they still going to be back to see you next month.
What you say?
Yes.
They still going to be back to see you next month.
Sally Mae going to be living good off that shit, honey. Yeah. No.
Like, and this is not to say that you shouldn't pay your loans. This is not to say that you shouldn't stay on top of your debt. But it was very much a lesson that I appreciated that y'all said for people, if they pay attention, that like you got to take that new money and put it into something that's going to make you more money, buy assets that are going to generate income. Like that's how you're going to pay off your debt a lot quicker and deal with your situation and end up in a better situation when things start to crumble, because you have assets that are going to be able to hold you up versus just sinking your money into debt.
Right. Because what usually happens is, and we didn't learn this until the fourth time around, but what usually happens is...
Y'all heard that?
The fourth time.
I was just about to say that.
But usually what happens is you accumulate this debt, right? And then like you said, well, first off, the first mess up is most likely you're accumulating debt on things that don't make you money.
There you go.
So this is why our rule now is we only borrow money to make money.
That's all.
Right? You only borrow money to make money. But let's just say you messed up and you borrowed money to ball out, right? So now you borrow money on something that's not going to make you money. But now once you got it together and you realize, and you now go make money, you get the stimulus check, income tax, a big lump sum of money. You know, this is not financial advice. I'll tell you what we did. Yeah. We now would not go and pay off bad debt.
No.
I would now take that money and invest it to make money, and now take the money from the investment and then start to pay off the debt. Because what happens is, once the debt is paid off, that generator is still generating more money.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's the way that we learned. Because before, what we would do, we would take the money and go pay off debt. And believe it or not, you be like, ooh, I feel good. But then guess what happens?
No more
in
money.
a few months, you right back in debt again because you swiping them cards again because you really needed that money.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You swiping them cards again, and then you look up 6 months, back in debt again. And it's like a vicious cycle, you know?
I'm glad y'all spoke on that. That's a major piece, like my brother Jerry was saying, when it comes to your personal finance journey. I'm glad that even though it took y'all 4 times, y'all internalized that lesson and shared with everybody.
Yeah, man. And the crazy part about it, why we keep saying young people, because, see, we did this while we was young. We had time to mess up. See, now in our 40s, we ain't got time to be messing. You messing up in your 40s, we need to go in the corner. Because you need a good bopping. Like, what is going on? This ain't that time. Like, what you doing? Like, right now, you doing stupid shit. Like, for real. Like, that shouldn't even be going down no more in your 40s because you had enough time to get it together. Right now is the time to really be sitting back and watching your harvest start to come in. This is when you start to collect in your farming right now. This is that season. And I'm going to go back to Jerry real quick. I don't know if it's like that anymore. What I learned, too, even in my debt when I had student loans, I didn't know that as long as I sent them $5, as long as I was positive,
you were servicing the debt.
They can say to me.
Yeah.
So it's not like I had to take, it doesn't matter about if you had $600 to $100,000 in student loan. As long as you're positive, they cannot bother you. And that's with all debt. Just stay above water, but take the majority of your money and make those soldiers work for you. You cannot you will always be in debt as long as you pay debt. That's a negative on negative. Ain't that math? I ain't too good in that part right there, but negative equals nothing.
Yeah.
How about that? So why would you do that? Why would you? I'm just keeping 100 with y'all.
Nah, but I definitely get you with that one. Yeah, and just like paying it off, like y'all said, even before with our girl Irene, she paid off like $70K worth of debt.
It was like $31,000.
But still a substantial amount.
And her credit
score went up like 4 fucking points.
Right?
Yeah, right. It didn't make a difference. Yeah.
Why?
It made a difference, yeah.
Why? And see, that's because not understanding. And another thing too, that comes from not asking the right people. You got to take your time and research. We were just talking about that undercover billionaire. You know what the common denominator was with all 3 of them? Because it was Timberland's wife, Grant Cardone, and this other lady. She does like real estate contracting. But they all are way multimillionaires, right? You know what they learned? All 3 of them broke down. They all had breakdown within the first probably 15 days. They didn't understand what it was like to be poor anymore. They didn't understand what it was like because all they started off with was $100.
Yeah.
And that's all they had. And they got to take that $100 and make it to $100 million.
No, $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
That's what they had to do. And the crazy part about it, in that process, they all go, there's no doubt in my mind, they all gonna be successful. I know they are because they all have the right foundation. That's really key. When you got the same foundation, everything is built. Let me go back a little bit. I want you to understand about foundation. Every foundation is built on concrete.
Right. Every house is
every house, every building is built on concrete. So when you got a foundation that's solid, you can build anything on it. So just make sure your foundation is correct. So with them, let me go back to the story, was that they all broke down because they didn't understand the process. They had been so disconnected from being poor until that moment. And it was like, wow, I get why people are suffering. I see why people hustle. I see why people are homeless and why people live from paycheck to paycheck. Because if you don't ask the right people, the right questions, you will stay in your same circumstances. You gotta ask questions. You gotta network. You gotta open your mouth. And nowadays, young people are so stuck behind these keyboards. They are keyboard punks. They're keyboards, scary folk. They don't know how to hold conversations. I used to make my son, he used to be on it all the time. I was like, boy, get your behind on the phone and order some food. Let me hear how you talk. Because the average young person don't know how to talk. The average young person don't even know how to sign their name on a check or open a savings account or a checking account. They don't even know how to do the basic things in life no more because they done got away from these things. You know what I'm saying? So if you learn how to network and learn how to talk to people and show the value that you have, even if you're not skilled, but if you got a strong, well, Les Brown said, you got a hunger inside of you, people tap into your hunger. Yeah. They'll tap into it. I ain't got to open my mouth. People can feel my presence when I come in because I walk in with confidence. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what the hell people talking about. And they won't know until I say it. They're like, so you understand? Hell no. I don't. But I was very attentive. And I want you to think that I really understood, but I was waiting till you asked me. I need you to understand. You got to be honest with people. I mean, this fake it till you make this thing work sometimes, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm attentive to you until you ask me, no, I didn't get it. So can you break it down in another scenario? But I want to be able to make sure that I'm bringing value to you. I want to bring whatever skill I can have or develop. I want to make sure that it brings us both a value or elevation in our lives. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when we can understand that comes from networking with other people. We need each other to grow.
And I'm glad you said that.
I wanted to get to, we probably on the same point, my brother.
The networking with people?
Not even just networking, because she also touched on the foundation, having that foundation. And you said Paki had been a businessman since he was 17.
17.
So whenever everything was taken away from y'all, when y'all started rebuilding, y'all already had that foundation. And I'm guessing the networking play also was a major part of that rebuilding process.
Yeah, indeed it was. From being in music to real estate, like you're saying, losing it all. And it's the same formula. This is why it's so important, like she said, that we learn the base principles. The base principles are the foundation. Listen, I keep telling people, we've been doing the savings challenge since 2017 when we started the page. Somebody's like, when is the challenge over? Never. It's never over because this is the foundation. You need to save, and notice we keep saying save to invest. We're not just saving to save, but save to invest because like she said, I was taught to save, but I was never taught to invest. But these are the foundations because I say it all the time. Listen, if your personal finances are all messed up, you can't tell me you can run a business. Your business is going to be messed up. Like you show me somebody who got a successful business and I show you, their personal finances in order. Like it's the same principles. Just like we have an emergency fund for personal, you need to have an emergency fund for your business. You can't just go and same thing. You can't eat when you earn an income for you personally. You can't eat the seeds. You got to save some and invest some. Same thing. Your business making money. You can't take all the income from your business and spend it on something. You got to reinvest it into the business. You know what I mean? So it's the same principles. It
sure is.
You just got to follow those principles. And once you have that foundation, like you said, you can build as high as you want.
And your environment. Who are you surrounding yourself around? I mean, I'm the poster girl for that right there. Like, who are your surroundings, man? People know. It ain't that I ain't gonna mess with you and all that. Like I don't mess with their ass. No, it ain't that. It's the fact that if I can't tap into you for something, I'm talking about if I can't tap into you for energy, if I can't tap into you for encouragement, I don't need you around me. This ain't even about your pockets. Your pockets ain't got to meet mine, but there got to be some value while you're in my life. But other than that, you are draining me. And sometimes it's crazy. Paki was laughing at me. Excuse me, just viewer discretion or however it is go. Paki been laughing at me because my whole book collection been like zen as fuck. Learn how to say no. What's the other one is? Something, the other one with Dan Locke, something with an F. Thinking everything is so aggressive, but it's aggressive by mindset. And I told him the reason why I'm an aggressive person. So I tap into people that teach me aggression, but they teach me aggression in mindset to tell me how to have self-love, how to self-reflect, how to build people around me, how to spring clean my circle. Because it's been my circle for 25 years, don't mean it's going to be my circle for the next day. I might have to let some people go. Within 24 hours, my whole circle can shift. Yes, it can. Because you brought me no value. All I'm doing is draining. So yeah, show me your first 5 people in your phone. I'm quick to say that. Show me the first 5 people in your phone and I can show you, man.
The last 5 people you talk to, you text or call.
I can show you.
I can tell you what
all day. I know right now, but you full of shit. Straight up. I already know what time it is. You can't run no game past me because your environment tell on you. This ain't, now you got to be wise enough to understand your environment show who you are. How I see you rocking, whatever, this social media ain't nothing but a Sims game to me. I can make it look good all day. That's Sims, you know what I'm saying? Because when that camera go off, man, what's your real life look like? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's how you know about your settings. The people you're around who in your life, I'm talking about from DNA to non-DNA to friends, man, filter that junk, like for real. Don't let people drain you out here because they running your same bloodline. What that mean? That you can donate some blood if we the same blood type. But other than that, you can't give me nothing. You can't be draining me. So my environment tells how I'm going to elevate. It tells like, what can I pull from you? Even if you don't have the answer for me, I should be able to relate to you or reach out to you for a resource at some point, right? My environment should be able to be that for me. And that should be my closest people to my core.
And I just kind of want to go back to that networking and the needing each other piece, because that's interesting. Like, even with what you're talking about right now, a lot of the times, sometimes we just like, oh, I want to do it. I want to be self-made. I want to do this on my own. Oh, I don't want to tell this person they're going to steal my idea or this, things like that. But that's so counter progressive, because you don't understand that everyone that you think is self-made, they still had to have someone pour into them. They still had to have someone either believing to what they had going on. They had someone who gave them some type of encouragement, even if it wasn't monetary. They gave them some type of encouragement, even if they let them sleep on their damn couch. That's helping them out. You're not self-made. You still need people.
Right. I said it before on another thing we did. Nobody's self-made. Like, let's just be honest. Nobody.
I laugh.
To 100%. Like, it's impossible. It's just impossible.
Need people.
Houseway.
It's impossible. So, because what people don't understand is that the way we were made, we were made to need each other. Yes. Like, it's the way that God made us. Energy. Like, no matter what you need, because like I said before, your purpose has nothing to do with you. Your purpose is for someone else, right? So if my purpose is for you, that means your purpose may be for someone else. Thanks. It was the way I believe that God made us to always need each other. Because if we all, think about it, we didn't, and we all balled up and went in the corner, then what's the point of life?
Right.
We feed off of each other. So nobody's like self-made. Like, there's people who did more than others, but we all, like you said, even if it wasn't financially, somebody helped you along the journey.
It was a book or a show.
And that's the way it is. Like, that's the cycle.
Most definitely.
It's just like the seed, right? The seed is planted, it produces a harvest. The harvest, the fruit, you take the fruit and take the seed out of that fruit and plant another seed. But where did that fruit come from?
What you say?
The seed. Well, where did that seed come from? Another fruit. Where did that seed come from? Another fruit.
Because you ain't start off with no damn seed, did you?
No.
Okay, all right, self-made. Go ahead.
And I kind of want to move forward with, after y'all got this type of mentality, how did that, and y'all got y'all foundation right, how did that look like moving forward? And now, you know, we prepared to take this time, actually plant these seeds, and now we're ready to start working for the harvest. What did that look like, y'all getting from those homelessness for those 3 years?
Wait, hold on, babe. The first thing I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to let him go ahead because he's good on that part. The first thing I'm going to tell you is stop caring what other people think. That's the first thing. Write it on your mirror. Can I be hard on your people? Write that shit on your mirror.
I'm gonna write it on my
notepad. What other people say.
Yeah, what they think.
Because don't care about what they say or what they think. It does nothing for you. I'm telling you, your biggest fan, you know who your biggest fan? I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Y'all ready? Everybody right there. Everybody gets out your pencil and paper. You know who your biggest fan is? You. You. You better ask Paki. Why I be talking to myself like, oh, girl, what you doing today? I be all brushing my teeth. I be like, hey, I'm having my moment with me. I had to learn how to be my own fan. I had to learn how to cheer for me. I had to learn how to study how I want to move. I had to learn how to understand how I want to be stroked with myself before I can give anything. And he the next person I give something to. But I got to give it all to me first. I got to let God have my oneness with him so he can tell me. First of all, I ain't got to hear what nobody say. Yeah, that's your opinion. We give off all kind of opinions. You know what I'm saying? People can assume. There can be plenty of asses out here. I got that. But you can assume what you want. But I'm not going to now apply that to me because that's what you interpreted. Because I didn't tell you that's what I feel. I didn't tell you that's what I said. Ask me if this is what I'm projecting off to you. Ask me, did I really say these things? Ask me if this is what I really want to participate in. These are the things that you got to understand. When you learn how to stand in the paint, and it's an everyday exercise, y'all. This ain't going to never stop till the day you die. You got to not give one damn what somebody else thinks. I mean that. You got to be your loudest fan. If I can tell you, I'm my biggest fan. Yep. I'm my loudest cheerleader. I clap loud, man.
Yeah.
Clap loud for yourself first.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. I mean, to go into the question, I mean, I think what happens is there's opportunity, right? And there's going to be plenty of opportunity. I think what's important for people to understand is that, again, notice I said the fourth time around, right? The fourth or fifth time around. A lot of times we're stuck in where we are too long because when the opportunity comes back around, we're repeating the same thing. It's just repetitive. It's like it's the same thing.
Same habits.
You got to do something different. So if you know better, you do better. So I always say knowledge is the first thing. So as we started to learn, one from our mistakes, and now also learning and watching and seeing what are wealthy people doing? How are they setting this up? Now that we know this, the opportunity is going to come back around. You just got to be patient for it. But when it comes back around, what do you do with it? Which goes back again. Can you be trusted with it? Because it's going to come back around.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come back around. And I think what happened was when it came back around, this time we say, wait a minute, we're not going to pay off debt. We're going to invest this money. Wait a minute. As we make a little money, we're not going to go and buy the latest car, all this jewelry and whatever the case is. No, we're not going to do that this time. Wait, it's coming back around again. This time we need passive income. We don't, we can't just earn income. Here we go again. It came back around again. Wait a minute. We can't rely on one source of income, one stream of income. We got to have multiple. So each time these lessons are coming back around, this next go round, we're doing it differently, right? And then you start to pile it on top of each other, and then you look up, and I put it in a post, like, you'll stumble into wealth.
Ooh.
Like, you don't even got to try. You take the principles, and you follow those principles, and you look up, whoa, I'm a millionaire. I'm wealthy. You ain't even trying. You know, and that's the key. When that time comes back around, because it will. Like, there's some people right now that's like, man, time. Trust me, the time will come back around.
Oh, yes.
What do you do with it when the time comes back around?
Yes.
I really like that. Like, I heard something, I guess, somewhat similar-ish to that, and it really had kind of clicked with me, too, on what you were saying. Just like, life isn't one decision. You know, you may make one bad decision. You may make one good decision. You may make a bunch of good decisions, but it's like the whole thing is that life is a series of decisions. So it's like, as long as you keep making better and better decisions as you go, like you said, you can fool around and fumble in the wealth because it's like you just never gave up going in the right direction. And you kept on improving on your decision making. You just got to learn from where you fuck up and keep failing forward. Like,
that's right. Indeed.
Yep. Dust yourself off and try again.
And that definitely, I appreciate that too. And what you said earlier with not caring what people think or what they say, because it's like when you fail, it might not be pretty, it might not be nice in public, but it's like you just got to keep on going.
I was wondering, like, the opportunity came back around. Like, when did the opportunity present itself for y'all with trucking? Like, how did y'all get into that? Because I'm familiar with the beginning of y'all real estate journey. I know y'all had that hotel. I heard that story. Y'all had the hotel, and I heard how that went down. That's a crazy story. You know, I heard that. That was a crazy story. Like, when did the trucking come into play for y'all?
All right, so basically, I'm going to go back a little bit to get you to the hotel, right? So after being homeless, one of the things that I did was I started going down to some people that we were staying with. Their son was working downtown, the courthouse, and he was telling me about these tax deed auctions that they used to do every week downtown. So I would go down there with them because I didn't have a car. Well, the one car we had, we were hiding, so the repo people wouldn't get it. Right. But, you know, I would go down there with him, and I would just go through all the tax deed files. I would go to every auction. I would go through those things as though I was going to bid on every single property. So I got all this knowledge, and I'm learning, and now I'm meeting people, networking, and I'm telling them like, hey, I know you're about to bid on that. Do you know that's a piece of land? It's not a house there. But what do you mean it's not a house there? No, it's not a house there. And it has X amount of liens, and it has this, and you know, you got to pay the fines on it. It's like, whoa, how do you know all that? Oh, well, I do all the research. And that opened up to me doing research for everybody. Mm-hmm. And it turned into a business of, I was the research guy for the tax deed. They called me the tax deed research guy. Like that was my thing. So I was doing that. And during that time, you know, we met investors and things like that. So fast forward, after we finally started to make some money doing the tax deed information and selling the research on the tax deeds and managing properties for some of these investors who we're selling the information to, the opportunity comes up for a hotel in Jacksonville. And I remember taking it to this investment firm that I was working with at the time. And it was like, it's too far from Miami, it's Jacksonville. And I started talking with another investor who I was actually went to his house to give him the research for the tax deed. And he asked me, hey, is there any other, you know, deals that's on the table right now? And I was like, well, it's actually a hotel coming up for auction in Jacksonville. And long story short, we ended up winning that hotel. And what happens is usually I was always offered an opportunity to manage the property. So same thing with this. He wanted to pay me a salary to manage the property. And I was like, or to work, you know, do the hotel. And for once, it's like, again, the opportunity came around again and realizing before, what was the mess up? Well, before we don't own nothing. So we was making money, but we didn't own anything. So
one check from being homeless.
Right. So here's the opportunity to ownership. So I'm going to bring value because I'm going to go here and run this hotel. Well, it's just like on the Undercover Billionaire. Right. Instead of you paying me cash, how about you give me ownership?
Yes.
That's all I'm asking for, ownership.
That's key, y'all.
Right. So I started negotiating that. And long story short, we not only got ownership, we also got the salary and 100% operating control.
Yes.
So now I can control this thing the way I wanted to, which allowed me to bring in my family to work at the hotel and to build from there. But fast forwarding, we end up winning the hotel, and we came up there and we started to run the hotel. And trust me, there's a whole episode alone that we could do on just the hotel journey. That sucker, that was...
We have to make that one happen then, man.
That's a whole another one there. But being that this particular hotel is like right off of I-10, which is right off the highway. And so it was a big spot for truckers. A lot of truckers would come there, stay the night, stay the week, stay whatever. You know, we had a lot of space for truck parking.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So a lot of truckers used to come and say, man, you should get in the trucking game. I'm like, I don't have time for that. And the story goes that there was one particular guy who truck broke down and he didn't have the money to fix it. And he came to me and asked me to borrow the money to fix it. And I was like, I can't give you this money. I don't know you like that, right? So he came back a couple of days later, something like that, and said, my bad, you're a businessman. I should have came to you with a business proposition. And here we go again. It's about axing, networking, axing. He says, how about this? How about I sell you the truck, but you don't have to pay me for the truck right now. All you have to do is pay the $2,000 or $3,000 to get it fixed. And then the rest of the money, the other $8,000 or whatever, you can pay me after I start making you money in the game. So I'm like, so I looked up here we go again, basic, I don't know the trucking industry. I don't know all this, just basic math. Let me Kelly Blue Book the truck. What is it worth? You know, oh, well, the truck is worth 15, 20 grand. Even if nothing happens, I can sell the truck and make the money back. So he signs the truck over to me. I pay for it to get fixed. And believe it or not, in the beginning, this is something I always tell people too. You don't always have to know every part of it, how it's going to work. just get started.
Yes.
Like, just get in it. Because if I would have said, wait a minute, let me learn the trucking game before we do this.
Oh, and if you did that, you wouldn't did it.
I would never did it because I wouldn't have had time to do it. We run in a hotel.
Right.
So, and here was the thing. Once I realized, wait a minute, you're going to drive the truck. The company going to handle everything. What do?
Collect.
He said, you just collect the money. You just, whenever the truck breaks, you just got, you got to pay for it, but you're not going to do nothing. So wait a minute. I'm going to make money and not have to physically work for it? Passive income. This is what
that was the introduction of
this is what I need right here. This passive income,
Mm-hmm.
And so we started and the first check came and it came to me and I got the $2,000 and I gave him $1,000 and I'm like, whoa. And then next week, another one. And the next week, another one. And I'm like, whoa. So even then we sort of fell into the trucking. Like, it wasn't like, hey, we're going to start this trucking company and we're going to do this and let's put together this business plan and finance and all. And now that I think about it, as we go through the story, even down to HoodEstates, now that I think about it, from the hotel to the trucks to HoodEstates, to even us now with this truck lending thing that we're doing, I'm starting to recognize the pattern. And this might not be for everybody, but for us, mostly everything that we found success in was not something that we planned out.
At all.
It was, or I knew. It was like, and I realize now, even talking to you guys, the reason being is because it forces us to have all our faith in God.
Yes.
See, sometimes when you know too much, you got it figured out too much.
Oh, yeah. We don't leave room for him to work.
I got it. I know what to do.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, well, I got it. So with this, here's the thing, two things. It forced us to put our faith and trust in God, but watch this. It also made it, when we get successful, to give him all the glory.
You better say it. Hey, come on, Daddy.
See,
all day.
I can't take no credit for it.
Man, I'm a kid.
I can't say I got it out the mud or I self-made because it wasn't even my idea.
First of all,
it wasn't even something I was planning on doing. It's not something that I had a business plan set out. It was something that just fell in my lap.
Come on now.
So now it fell in my lap. I trusted God for it. So guess who gets all the glory?
Oh, Lord.
Amen.
I can't open my mouth without talking about my daddy. What? Okay.
So that's what got us in. And again, you would have never told me the same thing. From starting HoodEstates to now, we do these interviews and stuff, and people see us on the street. It's like, yeah, y'all do trucking, man. Y'all should think about getting in real estate. And I'm like,
we are. It's HoodEstates.
That's what we do. Like, we really like. But it's amazing how people will know you more for something else that you didn't even. It was, and that's why when people come in like, man, no, like, look, man, I can't take no credit for this. Like, I'm not trying to be the truck, the head person in trucking. It ain't even my thing. So guess what? Because God blessed me with it and it's his thing, I leave the results to him. This is why there's no competition. Like, I'm not competing with nobody. I already won. It ain't even something I'm supposed to be doing.
If y'all see, we don't even, like, I be watching all these other platforms and I'm like, ooh, dang, I'm so glad we're not in the trucking industry. We're not even in that truck. We can't even stand in the, quick story. We was in the clubhouse and we heard all these people on these platforms talking about this trucking stuff, right? So me and Paki, I go to the brain. I say, babe, what they talking about? He said, hell, I don't know. I was like, oh. I was like, me neither.
That check still clear though.
Listen, they call us up on here, baby. We do passive income.
And that's the thing. What people don't understand a lot of times is there's so many ways of doing things and making money in different industries. Like, all the time. Think about it. This has happened recently. I talked to a realtor and all, that's what they understand about real estate.
Right.
They don't understand tax deeds. So I'm sitting there talking about tax deeds and the tax auction. And they're like, huh? But from the outside, a person will be like, oh, you're a realtor. You should know that about real estate. No, you shouldn't. It's different. It's so many different ways of doing things. And what we do in trucking is more from an investment standpoint. It's more from, it's almost like and I tell people, because some people used to say, well, how are you going to be in the trucking industry? You never drove a truck, you don't have a CDL. I say, well, I guarantee you this. I bet you every dollar I have, if you go to probably 90%, if not 100% of all McDonald's franchisee owners, they probably never flipped a burger at McDonald's.
They probably never stepped in McDonald's.
You know what I'm saying? Look at most, if not all, NFL owners. They
ain't played that sport.
Not coaches, owners. They ain't played.
Probably ain't never threw a ball.
They ain't never played. You know what I mean? But again, this is a mindset of, unfortunately, our people.
Yes.
Like, we just feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
they ain't worked hard
right.
for
If I didn't go and flip the burger, I can't be owning the Mac. I can't own the franchise. If I didn't do it, no. We got to get in the ownership mindset.
Yes.
And ownership mindset doesn't mean you have to physically have done the actual labor of the thing.
Yeah.
If you get the knowledge, what's needed. And again, ownership, this is why the most wealthiest people own, because ownership is the same. If I own, then I control.
Ooh, that's good, baby.
If I own, I control.
I love that.
See, that's the thing. We too often thinking about, I got to get here and work. Well, usually when you're working, you don't control.
Right.
When you own, you control. Right, you be in control.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I own, I control.
Yes.
And that's what I'm paid for. Because some of you say, well, what do you get paid? If somebody else is driving, somebody else is doing all the loads and stuff like that, well, what do you get paid for? Owning the truck.
Right.
It's my truck. Right. It's my equipment. I get paid for owning the equipment.
That's right.
Pretty much.
Facts.
That's it.
And that's what we tell people. Like, I think at one period of time when we first started, people were like, do y'all shine on 9-to-5s? Hell no, I was a 9-to-5 too. You know what I mean? My thing is what I tell all 9-to-5s is this: your boss own you. You might not look at it like that, but they do. You clock in at their time. You show up at the time. You do what they tell you to do. They own you for that time, right? Mm-hmm. And you get compensated for that. So that's why Paki always saying about investment. Everybody may not be a millionaire, but everybody can be an investor. Everybody might not be an entrepreneur, but everybody can be an investor. Mm-hmm. You take that money that you out there enslaving for, ever you got to make it seem, that money you take it, and now you bring that into investment where you learn how to get your freedom back. You now pay for your freedom. Have that same money now work for you. And there's nothing wrong with being a 9-to-5. At the end of the day, why are you being a 9-to-5? You don't want to work your whole life now for them to give you a 4K1 when you can't do shit. I'm just being honest. By the time they let you retire, you hear my word, I got so many friends that still talking about they got 5 years. Nigga, we is going to be great old senior citizens by the time y'all retire. For real. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get a whole stipend from the government by the time you leave this job.
If you got that.
If that. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen these times. And all that's on a promise, when you can take that money that you now working for and now invest that into something, even save it to invest. Now you learn how to work your credit. So that money, that credit card now to turn into cash, that turn into buying you assets. 9-to-5s can be bosses. Mm-hmm. Your 9-to-5 should be temporary. Make room for the next person who needs to be a 9-to-5er. Mm-hmm. That's not for you permanently. That's a lock-in mentality. I'll never forget on the last interview we had, we was talking about the fact that Paki had always been a dreamer. He always wanted to be a business owner because his whole side of the family were all entrepreneurs. So I didn't understand that. He was like, so what do you want to do with your life? Like, this when we getting really serious. He was like, what you want to do with your life? I said, listen, I only went by what I saw. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm a girl from the hood. I didn't have any real examples of what it was. And most people was locked into these long ass mortgages until they die. You watch old people die in their house and still they don't get paid for it until they die. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, I want a movie. I want a house with a white fence and a dog. I want a couple of kids. You know what I mean? And I want a nice job. He literally looked at me and said, hell no, that ain't what I want. He said, I want to be rich. And I was like, I don't know. I say, so what is rich? What do you mean? He's like, I want a big house. I want all this, da, 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 da. And I literally was scared. And I'm like, nah, I don't think we gonna make it because I don't know how to live that kind of life. Like, first of all, he talking to somebody who don't pay no rent. I'm on HUD, first of all. And he telling me now I gotta go pay rent. You telling me you want me to leave free? They give me a check towards my phone bill because I live here. And they pay me for having children. And I'm on Medicaid. I don't pay no bills. Like, and you want me to leave all this to go be rich? But it sounds like I'm gonna be paying to be rich. See my mentality? I didn't understand it. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand the whole that he already knew about growth. And I was just stuck that I just wanted to just be regular. I just wanted a regular life. It was just in the hood from where my environment was this. When you graduated and you got a job, you made it. Your pup was go pick up your peeps. Ain't nobody complaining about your ride because nobody want to be on the bus stop. You came through. That was success for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he taught me something different. I'm glad he was brought into my life. He taught me something way different about growth, teaching me how to see beyond. He already knew what he wanted. Paki knew that he wanted this life. this life that we living right now, this is what he knew. And God knew that he knew that I was, it was ordained for me to be and live in this life. Though I didn't understand it, I didn't know what I wanted, God knew this is what he wanted from me. So that's it.
That's some bars, that's some gems. I see Jerry got something to say.
No, just because she killed it on two pieces of something that I wanted to pull back from earlier to something that you just said too. When you said earlier having to like convince people and get people to understand, like I want to touch on the mental hurdles that our people have to go through to get to where y'all are and to get to that mental state. Because like earlier when you said people don't even understand that you can get paid to own something. Like purely, you don't have to do the work. You just own it and you get paid for that. Like that's a mental hurdle that I feel like a lot of Black people like don't understand. They even have to get over that. It's just like, you don't have to physically be there. You don't have to touch every piece of it. You can just own it and still get paid. And then you said something before as far as like y'all having to understand like it's hard to even put it in the word, but just the way that you said as far as y'all having to understand that build up and how to put things together as far as with the business. Like y'all were in those places, and at one point it seemed like, why am I giving up all of this free, all of this great that I know to go something that seems a lot more effort and a lot more difficult, like when I could just stay here and chill. Like I think a lot of people don't even like address those type of mental hurdles that folks have to get over, because they just like, well, why wouldn't you want to get out the hood? Well, why wouldn't you not want to live on hood? It's like, bro, this is easy. This is what I know. Why would I go do that? That's hard. Like, you pay how much in Texas? You do what? You have to file.
You don't get no tax refund?
You have to do paperwork? Right. Man, come on, son. I can go over here, go Fridays, Fridays. They're gonna pay me regular. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna still have my weekends. I'm sorry, I live in Louisiana, y'all. I'm still have my weekends in Houston and Dallas. I'm gonna still be able to go do my things on the weekends, and that's the epitome of what I want to do. So it's like you come to people and you try to show them something better, and a lot of people will initially reject that just because, bro, that seems a lot harder than what I'm doing.
Yeah, he took me out my comfort zone and scared the hell out of me. What you mean, give up free?
Well, see, too, that's the thing, and I won't put a name out there, but a friend of ours recently had a similar situation, and she's working a job. She just started a job that she's making about $60,000 a year, right? But she was on HUD and food stamps and getting money from the government, the whole nine. So she literally had been at this job already about 8 to 10 months. And, now it's coming up for renewal. And you know how it is, the government, like, hey, like, I got to report this, but I know when I report this, they finna cut me off. So literally, this is how crazy it is. Talk to several people that she know that's close in her circle.
Oh, that's key. Y'all heard that?
They're close in her circle that she speaks to. All of them people told her, girl, you better quit that job.
Honest to God, all of them.
Quit the job. All of them told her, quit the job and come back and move for HUD. So I did this. Let's just simple math. You make 60. So I say, let's add up what they're paying for you in rent, what they give you in food stamps, and what this money they give you every month as a stipend or whatever. That money equaled out to $30,000. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, well, it's simple math. You make $60,000 here versus the $30,000 you get from the government. That's literally double. Now, minus, I know, taxes and things like that, you're still going to come out with about $20,000 more. But now you have good income. So guess what? You can now go leverage your credit and get loans to buy properties and do things like that. And the sky's the limit. Why would you cage yourself into this 30? And that's the thing I just realized, like, wait a minute. They pay you to stay caged in.
Ooh, what you say?
It's that old thing. I'd rather keep hand feeding you peanuts so you never come after the big bundle over here.
You'll never had a confidence.
You'll never had a confidence. So I don't mind giving you that. Oh, yeah, I'll give you that $30,000 a year. I'm paying you $30,000 so you never try to make a million.
Yes.
Paying you $30,000 to get rid of your potential and your dream.
Your ambition.
You better say it.
Right. And then here's the problem. Guess what you do? Now you pass that down to your 4 children. That same mindset. Because the people that's telling you this, they in that same situation. They like, girl, you crazy? That's free money. You giving away free money. It's not free. Trust me, it's not free. Doesn't come with a price.
Costing your life.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And when I broke it down for her and she saw it on paper, she was like, well, wow. I mean, I don't got to be a mathematician. This is basic math. Like, I'm making more. And since then, not only she's making more, she's now gotten her first lines of credit. We helped her get a couple of lines of credit. And guess what? She's don't touch that money. We invest in that money. So now she invests in that money. And now she's so excited because she realized, like, wait a minute. Wow. But guess what? It got when she got around us and said, how do you do this? I said, you never going to be.
I was the last friend she called.
Right.
And I told her, I said, that should tell you something. I'm your only friend. I've been her friend since she was young. I said, I'm your only friend that told you, you better stay your ass on that job. I'm your only friend that told you that. So they need to tell you something about your circle. I said, you need to get a song or that comes with like a dead Michael Myers beat. And every time they call, they trying to kill your dream. You need to let that phone ring that shit when they call. Because they tried to take your dream from you.
Yeah. But guess what? On top of that, listen to this. This is even crazy. But I understand his view for her. The landlord told her, no.
Of course, shit.
That's what I told her.
I'm getting paid regardless if you work or not.
You gonna guarantee money from the government. Exactly. So of course he gonna tell you, you should quit that job and just keep going. You already got hood. And the point is like so many people from the hood in the hood that's living this, and unfortunately this is all we know. Like this is all that's been taught to us, and this is all we see. It's a safety net, and it's the cycle. And this is again, they paying you to stay in poverty.
And it's crazy. We were making, at the time when we finally moved out, we were making close to like $60,000 to $80,000 a month. And the day I left, I boohoo cried. I cried because I'm making $60,000 to $80,000 a month. I was scared to leave my stability.
She almost didn't want to go.
No.
You know what made us go? She didn't want to go. No. And I'm kind of saying, we got to go.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
She didn't want to go. You know what made us go? You know, the boys can't look, man.
Yeah.
Y'all looking like a whole meal out here.
And it's only because these been my boys since I was 4 years old. So they telling me the truth.
Yeah, they like, man, these niggas
the dope boys coming telling me, they're like, Cindy, y'all hot, man.
They plotting. Y'all got to get up out of here. Like,
man,
y'all coming in rental cars every week. Yeah, like y'all basically dudes were telling us, I don't care how y'all trying to hide it.
Get out of here.
Y'all look like money.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't even like flashy. No. It was just like, you could smell it on y'all.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get up out of here. You gonna be
especially taking that 30,000 home.
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah.
Right.
You making more in a year than in a month. They're making in a year. Shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was crazy. Man. The thing is, she didn't want to go.
I didn't, but I had to respect the game.
Yeah.
When the dope boys started coming telling you shit, you better move.
Yeah.
They were like, man, y'all hot. And then we started like, we'll go downstairs, we find nails in our tires. So they were saying that's set up robbery.
Yeah.
Like they trying to catch y'all on the move. But see, I grew up in the hood, so I understand. I made Paki take different routes home.
Yeah.
I moved my car in certain spots like that. I had some of the dope boys look out for me when I come in. Hey, come walk me to my crib. Like it was just that type of thing. But at that time, I was like, I got 3 kids. I can't keep putting me and my husband in this situation because I'm scared to leave the stability of what the government has. You know, can't conform to this, and I had to move. I had to leave.
I was living in the PJs.
Man, we were living in the
Yeah. Oh man, making 80 bands.
Making 80 bands.
Oh yeah,
I would never left.
I see
But
what
Mama
it
said,
is.
I would
Hey,
never
but that's
left.
real though.
I would never left.
Yeah.
The name got a reason behind
Nah,
it.
but like it's understandable because I used to live in the project, so I know exactly the whole everything. Like, hey man, you comfortable? Like, you wake up. This person been in there since the however long. They parents used to live in the projects. Like, comfortable. This is my people. But once you elevate from them, you looking like a lick.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right. And you feel like sometimes like you always feel like, man, I'm abandoning my people.
Right.
Like I don't want to leave them because you gotta realize at this time, exactly. And at this time, we ain't like flashing everything, but if somebody needs something, obviously, man, we got it. Like it ain't no thing. So you just feel like I'm leaving this behind. I'm leaving, like I'm leaving my people behind. Even with family, it'd be the same way. And that's one of the biggest things. What I realized, and what messed us up the first time is, as soon as you start to get wealth and, generate this type of money, you can't be so quick to, you want to pull people up, but you got to make sure you good first. That's what they tell you on the plane. Before you assist the person next to you, put on your own mask.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And you got to make sure you're secure before you do that. And it's unfortunate, like we've experienced a lot, as well as, yes, you change. Yes, you're supposed to.
Yes.
You're supposed to, right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yes, you change.
You change. Yes, you're supposed to.
Change them.
But the thing is, they haven't.
They have
right?
not.
And it's not personal. But now, Trap used to talk about all the time. It's different. These people ain't hungry. They starving.
They starve. You look like a whole filet mignon.
They starving. There's a big difference. Like, if she hungry and I'm starving, I'm gonna tell you different. You put a steak between both of us, she's hungry, right? She gonna grab her, man, I'm hungry. She gonna grab her knife and her fork, and she gonna cut the steak, and I'm hungry. I'm starving. You know what I'm gonna do?
Picking that thing up.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing and eating. So, and that's the thing. People are starving out here.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect, forget, oh, this is my hood. They know me, man.
It's a transition. It really is. And I salute all those who are scared right now. It's okay to be scared. I was scared. I was in my 20s. I was scared. All I knew was the hood. All I knew was my neighborhood. All I knew was my hood family. And I was leaving them. And I knew the status that I couldn't go back. I was hot.
Yeah.
They told me I couldn't come back. You understand? When your family tell you can't come back, that hurts you. So I didn't know how to process that. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't personal. You know what I mean? Like, if I got hit up, that was on me. Like, one thing about it, the hood is a jungle. And everybody in for survival. It ain't personal that I took this from you. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I learned that growing up there. And I can't go back. I done elevated. God done uprooted me out of that garden, and I'm in another place. I got rerooted somewhere else. And that's what it is. A lot of people are scared to get rerooted. They don't want to leave that. And you can't bring them over into your garden because they mentally ain't ready. They will set you up, man. I had so many of my homeboys set up. Like, for real, like, you cannot bring them into your new environment. They have not changed because at the end of the day, you brought them into your palace. They going back home to the jungle. And you can't respect that. Your success is an insult to them. You can't. And you can't be ashamed of your success. You can't downgrade because they're not ready to elevate. It's just what it is.
Man, hey, that's a message.
That's a message right there too. Man, that's a whole bar. And it makes me think of, like, even like you said, changing. Like, even whenever you cross as a Greek or something on campus, and I'm not talking about like the parties and all of that, but something that Greek life done for me whenever I joined it, it opened up my mind to what was bigger on campus. Whenever I first got to campus, I just wanted to party and have fun and sleep in, not go to class if I don't have to. But once I got into Greek life, it was like, hey, man, you need to go to class and you need to start doing this network. Oh, we also need to be volunteering. What are you doing to impact your community? What type of programs? So now I'm not just thinking about partying. I'm actually thinking about adding value now. So now you're talking about I changed because I'm not hanging out with you while you just bullshitting, smoking weed, getting drunk. I'm actually, playing the game all day. I'm actually thinking about, okay, now I'm the person throwing these parties. So you don't even know what got to go into this. I got to make sure we got 8 security guards. I got to make sure that the mayor, they got paid. I got to make sure this building is paid. I got to make sure y'all don't act a fool once y'all get in there. So now that's why I had to change, because I had to become a higher version of myself.
Yes. And it's an insult to those who don't want to switch up. It is what it is. Like, you get tried for that. And they want to shun you for that. It was a long time when me and Paki got into the success that I wouldn't say nothing because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed of the fact that I made it. And it encouraged the people that I left behind to feel bad. You know what I mean? It's crazy. In the environment that I came from, they already made it. Me, what I bring to the table is I'm being bougie. I'm being flawed. I'm being fake. But no, I'm being successful with wealth and legacy. I got my freedom. I can pay your whole salary with one credit card. I'm a boss. And I don't even show that in your face. But just me living this life insults you. And I got to separate myself from that because I'm not going to make you feel bad because God elevated me. It is what it is.
I love it.
Sandy, you just touched on y'all working to build legacy, and it kind of want to have me segue into the next thing I want to talk about with y'all. Like, so how are y'all helping people build legacy through HoodEstates? Honestly, I'm not gonna just say through the trucking piece because y'all helping people all together. Can y'all get into that some?
Again, I think it was important from the beginning is the foundation, like we talked about, the basics. This is why we started the Savings Challenge. This is why we continue to do the Savings Challenge.
Yeah.
Every 12 weeks, it just starts over, right? So that, I think that was important. And a lot of times you got to know who you're talking to, right? I tell people, yes, what we teach and show, you know, obviously can be for anybody, but we really focus in on people that came from the background as us, meaning these people that are in the hood, that don't have any, because I mean, I posted things sometimes and people like, yeah, but you could break down that for the people I'm trying to present this to, I can't break it down that deep. Like they just need the basic, right? So this is why we get with saving, investing, emergency fund, those basic things. So that's one way that we're doing it. And then I want to show people passive income, right? That's why they call me passive income Paki. We decided that what we realized was, that that's one thing that people that come from passive income, what does that mean? Like my mom even asked me that one day. She was like, son, what is passive income? I was like, Mom, that means when you're not physically working for every dime you get, meaning the work that you put in is not a direct correlation of the money you make.
It don't require you.
Right, meaning you will do some things, but it's not like, you know, you got paid for the hour or you got paid for how many hours. You're making money without you doing the work directly for the money. And I think that's important because, again, just us as people have always been taught, you got to work for every dime you get. Like you got to literally, you know, we've been taught to trade time for money.
Yes.
I do this amount of hours because think about it. I was always talked about in the hood. Well, I work over here, I get paid $8 an hour. I just got a raise. I get $9 an hour. Oh, well, I work over here, I get $12 an hour. You going to do some overtime? Yeah, how much they paying? Time and a half. Time and a half?
Yeah.
Time and a half? What is time and a half? Like if you think about it,
peanuts.
If they could pay you time and a half,
how much you making?
Right, what's the value? So to disconnect working for the money and have the money working for you, right? And it's a big difference. So our biggest thing, this is why, whether it's trucking, real estate, we're going to be introducing truck lending, which we've been doing.
We need y'all to understand that y'all can be the bank early, man.
Need to be the lender.
If you can be the lender starting at 25 and 30, do you understand what your life will be like when you're 40-something, baby? If you're the bank.
Be the bank. So these are all the things, and this is the legacy that we want to pass on to our people, is that this is the key to wealth.
It is.
Because if not, this is why we go places, and you think about it, you know, you go places, especially, and it's everywhere, but especially in the hood, and you see people 60, 70, 80 still working.
Still,
you know, whether it's cleaning up or here or there, like they
guard.
Yeah, because they have to, right? And that's the key. Again, we're supposed to work, but life wasn't meant for us to just work until the day we die. Like that wasn't the purpose here, right? So a lot of us, we're working so much, we can't even walk in our purpose, in our true purpose, because we're working so much.
Right.
So our biggest thing was the legacy that we wanted to leave for our community was, listen, wealth can be built, like I said. You can build wealth. You can stumble into wealth if you take these basic principles, saving, investing, and buying assets and income producing assets and having passive income and multiple streams of passive income. And this is how you get to building wealth. And now you can get into, okay, generational wealth. How do I leave this? How do I pass this down? And that was one of our things. And what happened was, whether it's real estate, trucking, or the different things, they all come back to that thing. Because even with the real estate, it was the same thing. It was, wait a minute, we were managing all these properties in the hood, but we didn't own any.
Right.
You know, we were
just the face.
We were just the face. And then we started looking up on the property appraiser site, and you see, you know, you can tell by the names,
that ain't
like
us.
that ain't us.
No.
So we're not owning anything in our community. This is why we don't control it.
Right.
So this was major for us. So our thing was, let's buy the properties in the hood that we've been managing because we have ownership. And if anything, guess what? Me as a landlord, me and Sandy as landlords, I understand you as a tenant because I was you.
All day.
You get what I'm saying? So if you want, just like I tell our truck drivers, we tell our truck drivers, my goal for you, if you want, is in 2 years to 3 years, you need to be owning your own truck. And I can help you get there. I help you build your credit. I help you save your money to do it, you can do that. Same thing. The tenant, within a couple of years, you need to be buying your own property. You know, trust me, you don't have to worry about, oh, well, who's going to rent? There's plenty of people. That's because there's always a cycle.
Yes, it is.
You know, there's always a cycle.
Yes.
So with that cycle happening, there's always a space, just like the drivers. Don't worry, there's always a cycle of new people that's coming in. So that's important to us, and that's a part of our goal of building our legacy through HoodEstates, in a sense.
I appreciate y'all sharing that, and like what y'all doing for our community it's so beautiful to me. I really thank God, honestly, for having y'all go through y'all journey so y'all can share y'all testimony with people.
Yes.
Because it's really a powerful thing. And like, I just hope anybody that's listening to this can leave this and like see that it's not always just about what you can take. It's about being obedient, having faith, and sowing them seeds like y'all was talking about.
Yes, man. Yeah, you can't be afraid of your assignment.
Yeah.
The assignment can't come without a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people, I used to tell my kids all the way growing up, I say, one thing about the service, the first thing they put you is boot camp. They ain't sending nobody on that front line first. They send you through boot camp. And that's how life is. Life sends you through boot camp. It's going to be some hurdles. It's going to be some challenges. I always say, don't always call everything a fail. Some things are just challenges to get you stronger. You want them muscles, man, it's got to get cut up first.
Yeah.
You got to go through some things. And they don't have to always be bad. They just challenging. They just don't feel good.
Right.
I think sometimes we can think that everything got to be so tragic. No, it just don't damn feel good. And it's okay. Because when you do get through it, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a flow. Life bring it. That's what happens. I tell anybody, if you struggling, when that sunrise and the struggle is over, your ass know how to get through some stuff. All the world is repeat. It's a repeat. Just know you know how to pass it. It's a cycle. That's all. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing. That's all. You can get through it. You got through the other one. Go back to that shit and be like, damn, how I got through that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how I can get through this again. It feels different. It ain't. It ain't. I promise you it ain't. I'm 46. You ain't. It's the same. It just hurts. But you can get through it. You just got to tough it up. Put your big drawers on. You got it. You got it.
Put your hard hat on and your boots and go through it.
That is what God said. Put on a full armor and push through this thing, right?
I love it. And I want to pivot to the last section. It's been great having y'all on here. And I definitely would like to get y'all on in the future, just so, it might have to be a part 2, part 3, because I want to talk about that hotel, and I do want to kind of go a little bit deeper into what y'all doing with the trucking and stuff in the future. But I think this was just a great episode just on mindset and really just what it takes to go from being at the top, losing it all, and then going back. And I just want to say y'all did an amazing job. Like he said, we've been looking up to y'all for forever. Man. He always said, he'd be like, man, that's my uncle. So I just want to say, like, thank y'all for being a part of that. Like, thank y'all for being a part of this and just helping inspire us. And once again, we inspire more people. And that's all this is about, just pouring on into others.
And you know what? That's legacy.
That's legacy.
So guess what? We did our job.
Yeah.
As long as, if that's nephew over there, we did our job. And if you nephew, we did our job. That's legacy.
That's right.
Right there. That's the biggest legacy, right? I tell anybody, they be like, Sandy, so what's your legacy? Man, that I was able to imprint on somebody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Just like y'all with this podcast. I mean, you got to understand, and I know you probably can't see it, but it's so much bigger than even what you see right now. Even if one person watches it right now, because it's not about that. Because what you realize is when you have grands and great grands, imagine, you know, how we go back and read books, podcasts are going to be the new books.
Yeah.
Right. So you imagine the knowledge and what y'all are providing is going to be for generations to come. Yeah. Could you imagine somebody 100 years from now saying they listen to BWR Podcast to learn something?
Yo, man, come on, man. Don't bust my head like that.
I'm telling you. That's legacy.
I did not think about that. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Today
y'all leave the knowledge here for it. Yeah. That's legacy, man.
100 years from now, maybe 150 years, you dead and gone. But guess what? What you presented here is going to help some young man and some young woman. Because remember, like we said, there's nothing new. It's the same thing. It just repeats itself. So this right here, even somebody asked about, like with the trucking courses and the real estate stuff, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and I told him he's trying to put together some courses and stuff. And he said, well, how did you do it? What do you think about it? I said, listen, you have children. You're going to soon have grands. I say this is a simple way. Forget about who may be buying your course. And all you want to do now is document what you did. So your grandkids and great grandkids can say, Grandpa, how did you make money? Well, guess what? Watch this video. For you, it's a course, but you just blueprinting out for your grandkids to be able to see what you did. So this is the legacy being passed on. One of the worst things that I could say happened is my dad died without a blueprint. So he had a successful architecture firm.
20 years. Right?
And nobody really knew what to do. When imagine if you had a course on how to run a successful architecture firm. See, he's looking at it, might have looked at it as a course to sell, but for us, it would have been the blueprint to keep the legacy going. So everything y'all doing now, whether it's the podcast, the courses, anything like that, I tell people, don't go in, well, oh, you know, how can I sell this? How can I make this that my great-grands can watch this, even after I'm maybe dead and gone, great-great-grands, and understand what Grandpa did to make money and build wealth.
Y'all have a volume of things to give y'all children now. Y'all got a volume of things for y'all grands. All these podcasts, y'all just put them together and put them in a vote, and this is for them to learn from. This would not grow old.
So it don't matter if nobody else here.
It don't grow old.
See, I tell people, if you don't, granted, we're built in a society of trying to be number one, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But when your purpose is fulfilled already, you already won.
Yeah. Yeah, you just sit in it, man.
Let me tell you, you already number one. Watch this. No matter where we go, I know I'm already number one in her life.
Yes.
I'm already number one to God. I'm number one to me. Right. So it doesn't matter how high on the charts I get. And I'm not saying I'm not striving, but when you already won, you play the game different.
That's it. You know how to sit in it, man. Y'all already big. Because whoever remember to always look at it like this. Y'all might not be whatever y'all think is the biggest dream. Y'all that mustard seed. If God can take that mustard seed and make it miraculous, that's what y'all are. And that's what you look at. I don't like competition. I ain't never played no sports. I ain't never like that shit. I ain't got time to be competing with nobody. At the end of the day, whatever I can present and whatever I can do, I got a big old mouth. I be the biggest cheerleader out there. I ain't even on the cheerleader team. It's crazy. I'll give you a quick story real quick. My daughter was on the cheerleader team, and they had all the stuff out there. That's why my kids be like, damn, I hate when you come to stuff. But that's all right. And she was out there. It was her first game, and everything was going on. Man, I just sat there and I studied what they was doing, right? And by the time it was going to after halftime, I had all knew the dances. I was out there, and guess what? By the time the game was over, everybody like, oh, that's Kill Mom. She's the cheer mom. You saw that? I ain't try out for nothing, but I was cheer mom by the time that damn game was over with. You know what? It's what I brought into the game. You know what I'm saying? I did my part. I'm a big cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? Whoever I can inspire, that's your goal. That's your purpose, man. That's how you leave legacy. Man, get out that competition shit. That's unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, when you can be the best you and you authentic and you doing it out of love, man, you don't care about what nobody else doing. They can be fighting over there. Be like, damn, they're going to be tired in a minute. Let me get them some drinks.
Yep. I can honestly say that's probably been our greatest thing once we realized that. Because people like, man, y'all, we live like we live like that. Like, people like, man, y'all don't do this.
No.
I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I've already won.
Yeah.
So again, that's not meaning I'm stopping. You know, that's not meaning I'm not, you know, I don't mind getting to the top.
We
striving, but I'm not gonna put that pressure. It ain't no competition.
Take it out.
Ain't no competition when you already won.
I'm telling you.
Hey. You had to give it to him, huh?
Yes, no, man. I love it. But I just want to say once again, y'all, thank y'all for coming on. Thank y'all for those words of encouragement.
Thank you.
Can y'all plug yourself in for anyone who's listening, want to follow you guys, want to check y'all out if they already not following y'all?
Obviously, Instagram is the biggest platform. We always there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok as well. You'll see a few things on there, but all at HoodEstates. That's at HoodEstates on all platforms. You can also email us info@hoodestates.com or hoodestates@gmail, but mainly social media.
Oh, we're on Twitter now?
Yeah, I said Twitter.
Oh, my bad. I got HoodEstates_Sandy. If y'all want to come and see me, just be myself. Y'all want to see a real chick that just be normal but love her life. That's what I do.
Yeah.
All day. HoodEstates_Sandy. That's all.
Yeah, you got to send me a profile, my brother. You got this on Twitter or that's on your Instagram?
On Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, you over here on Twitter trying to find your personal.
Yeah, we're on Twitter.
Yeah, I was following them.
Yeah, we just started. We trying to put it out there. I mean, but they be out. Twitter is a whole nother beast, man. They be like just talking. I be like, I can't get in that ring. Listen, I drop some stuff out there every now and then, but I'm like, God, that Twitter is the young and the restless.
Right. Nah, yeah, Twitter, that's the wild west right
there. I just don't scroll very long. I just go there, post, and get up out of there. That's how Twitter is.
That's right.
Yeah, that bird out.
Yeah, it is.
But Paki and Sandy, I'm calling y'all Uncle and Auntie from now on. I'm sorry.
Uncle and Auntie, man.
What's up, nephew?
We appreciate y'all so much. This has been, like my brother Jalen said, this has been amazing. Thank y'all so much for coming on our podcast and blessing us with this, just gems and just really y'all testimony.
Yeah, real conversation.
That was like necessary for us as well. But before we get up out of here, we could go ahead. We could wrap this thing up with a couple of house clean items for the show. As always, y'all, thank y'all for listening to the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. We appreciate everybody that tunes in week in and week out. We just want to make sure we helping y'all. And if y'all found this episode helpful, y'all make sure to reach out to us, reach out to Paki, Sandy. Y'all, that's what we all about here. We really trying to help our community elevate. And that's just what we own. Other than that, I mean, we got our book. You can see it here, Manage Your Money Like the 1%. We got credit fundamentals. We got courses and stuff. But like my brother was saying, we just trying to help y'all understand this stuff better. So, yeah, y'all get at us.
Yeah, y'all definitely tap in. I want to say thank you to all the listeners, too. Also, if you are a new listener, please rate, review, comment. Let us know how you thought about this. Please stick around. We got some great episodes that's going to be releasing after this. Like, promise y'all, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And we're going to keep on working to get this value out to y'all. So, once again, thank y'all for tapping in. What you got, Jared?
I just want y'all to go tap in with my new uncle and auntie. You know what I'm saying? They got all the information over there at HoodEstates as well, too. Y'all go check them out on the trucking, on the real estate, on the savings challenge. They've been helping me save money for a long time. Y'all go tap in with them and check out that page.
Yes.
Most def.
Yeah. Well, on that note, y'all, this is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.
I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathon.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.